Welcome to Storytime with Cozy Malka, where we gather to share tales about responsibility, courage, and honesty. As we come together, let's put on our listening ears as we're transported into amazing stories. For this episode, we'll be learning about bravery versus injustice as we continue about the clever rogue, Robin Hood and his merry men. Without further ado, let's find a cozy spot, grab a friend, and enjoy a great story. Today's chapter is chapter 15, The Black Knight Appears. 22 horses were all that Sir Gurth could find or borrow, and these he lent gladly enough to Robin and his men, who armed themselves to the teeth from the plunder of Damon's long dragon boat before they set out for Evilhold. Robin and Little John at the head of the mounted men, and Friar Tuck with Will Scarlet and Much following on with those of whom horses could not be found. For the first time since he had taken to the greenwood, Robin's face was set and stern, for he could hold his own carrying any man with a jest on his lips and a smile in his eyes. But this, carrying off of Marian, was a different thing. From this Eisenbar I saved her, he said, knowing that she looked on the man with fear, as would any maid who would avoid evil. Now whether Eisenbar have harmed one hair of her head or no, by this act against me he has brought doom to Evilhold. Friend, said Sir Gurth, it is no small thing to attack a strong castle, such as this you call Evilhold. Attack? Said Robin grimly. Not only will I attack, but I will send Evilhold flaming to the sky and make an end of it. So shall honest men breathe more freely, and their wives no longer shiver and tremble at the name of Eisenbar de Bellamy. He hath done wrongs enough. He set out to ride fast and far. By night marches only had the outlaws come to Ravenscar, to the taking of the long dragon boat. But they rode back, and those under Friar Tuck marched back both by day and night, hurrying ever as they thought of Marian and the 5 good fellows whom Eisenbar had taken off to his hold. Dusk on the 3rd day was falling when Robin and his party dismounted on the edge of the woods and looked out on Evilhold. Look good, Robin, said Little John with a sob in his voice, and pointed towards the great castle on its height. In one way we are too late to aid, for we shall speak with those 5 no more. Above the outer wall of the castle reared a skeleton framework, and on it swung 5 black figures, still and ominous. A long time Robin looked at his dead men in silence, and there he raised his bow and put the grasp of its arch against his lips. By Our Lady the Virgin, he said slowly, I will not rest from war against this evil man until he is lifeless as they are. Do we wait for the good friar and the others? Little John asked. For that castle is in truth a stronghold, and Eisenbar hath a man aplenty to guard it. We shall have no small task before us, Master Robin. We rest this night, Robin answered, but by dawn we must be astir again against them. We will not have dared to harm Marian, for he wants her lands, as Abbot Hugo wanted Sir Richard's manor. By dawn I will have a plan formed to make an end of this Eisenbar. But who comes here? Little John asked. What if it proves to be Eisenbar himself? Too tall for Eisenbar, said Robin. Nor did Eisenbar ever sit a horse like his man. He carries a blank shield, see. From the direction of the castle, a strange knight came towards them, riding a great black horse, and armed all in black with visor down. It was strange that he neither reined in nor showed any sign of alarm at sight of more than a score of armed men on the track, for in those troubled times such a lone rider might expect attack. But he came on like a tower of black iron, and they saw a great battle-axe hanging by his saddle-bow. Of old man, said Robin admiringly. Knight, he called, what do you ride on these forest ways? The Black Knight reined in, and when he spoke his voice sounded hollow from between the bars of his visor. I do as I will, to whom I will, he answered, but for this present I seek shelter for my horse and myself in the forest. Yet there is a strong castle behind you that would give you shelter, Robin pointed out, if you are on Count John's affairs. Count John's affairs are very near my own, said the knight. Then in the castle, a man of his, and we will have pleasure in killing you with him when we set about the castle, Robin said. Get you gone, for we, being more than a score, would not set about one man. There is a mystery here, the knight said thoughtfully, for you are not armed as Normans are, nor as the Saxons. And why do you propose to attack yonder castle? For many reasons, Robin answered, which you, being John's man, may not hear. Get gone to the castle or elsewhere. Though John's affairs are very near mine, I am not John's man, the knight answered. And if there be cause for the pulling down of that castle, I might help at a pinch. But is there cause? Right good cause, Robin answered. If you should care to eat with us, I can tell you some of the cause, good knight, and you may see whether it is worthwhile to swing that great axe of yours besides us, or against us, if it please you. For if you are for that castle's owner, it will give me great pleasure to kill you. The Black Knight dismounted from his horse, a great strong figure of a man. I will eat with you, he said, and we may discuss this matter while we eat. To my thought, these strong castles are too plentiful about the country, but whether this one should be attacked or no is a matter for grave thought. You shall state your reasons. So when they had all tended their horses and settled round a fire deeply set in the forest shade, so that Eisenbar's sentries could not see the flame, Robin told a tale of how Sir Richard at Leah had been imprisoned in an evil hold for nearly 4 years, so that Abbot Hugo might have his manor, and Eisenbar might have his daughter and the rest of his lands. The Black Knight, who had raised his visor to eat, but kept his helmet on so that they could see very little of his face, listened to the story. Right, well, I know that Sir Richard, he said, for I was present when he was knighted by King Henry, but where do you tell this tale come into it? What have Sir Richard woes do with you? Sir Richard's daughter is my wife, Robin answered. Yet even then, since you have the maid as your wife, and this Sir Isambard have not harmed you, it is not your quarrel, said the knight. Robin pointed through the trees in the direction of the castle. She lies prisoner in that hold, captured in my absence, when this Sir Isambard burned my home and took my men to hang them from this castle wall, he said. Knight, by your talk you are Norman, but so is my wife's father, for there are some good Normans, and I would that the best of them all, our King Richard, were back to right some of these wrongs in England. If you choose to help us, then we are glad of you, but if you would leave us, go free, for you have eaten of our bread and meat. Of a surety I will help you, the Black Knight promised. For of this burning of homes and carrying off of women, aye, and hanging of men too, there is too much, and it is time these robber barons were taught their lesson. But how will you, with not more than a score men, go up against such a castle as that? Aye, how, good Robin? Asked Little John. Shall we sit under the wall and scratch a hole in it with our fingernails? What name was that he called you? The knight said quickly. My own name, Robin Hood. But remember, good knight, you have promised us your aid. The knight laughed softly to himself, and for a few moments sat and thought. Aye, I have promised, he said at last. Yet, Robin Hood, will you scratch a hole in the wall of the castle and crawl through as your man here asked just now? For it is no small thing to attack such a place. I have 30 more men to come, Robin said shortly, and when it is time I will scratch you such a hole in the wall of this castle as shall leave it toppling, for a dozen of the best of you come with me. You have a plan, then? The knight asked. I have more, a key by which to enter the very keep itself, for when I had rescued Sir Richard, along with my own man from their dungeons, I kept the key of the postern at back of the castle, and now wait only for the rest of my men to come up before attacking from the inside and opening the gate to the main party of my men. So you rescued Sir Richard yourself? The Black Knight asked curiously. But how did you get that key? Robin told the stratagem of his beehives, and the knight sat and thought over it for a long time. A bold game to play, outlaw, he said, but ever the bold game wins. When your men come up, I will either come with you by the postern or lead the main attacks for you, as you will. Robin looked at the knight's mighty frame, then led me the main attack, he said, for craft will mainly serve inside, but such strength as yours will be needed in the attack on the gate. Where then are these 30 men of yours? The knight asked. They are yet to come from our attack on the pirate Damon, the monk by Ravenscar, Robin answered frankly. The knight's eyes gleamed from the depths of his helmet. Now say, he said, do you tell me that you dared go against a great pirate? We killed him and burnt his ship, Robin answered carelessly, and yawned. And having ridden far this day, knight, it is time we slept, for there's hard work before us tomorrow. So you, an outlaw, have rid our coasts of that evil thief? The knight remarked thoughtfully. Knight, said Robin with a trace of harshness, I have no liking for the way you harp on my outlawry, and I tell you that, with the laws as they are, I had as soon be out of the law as within it, since such as this Isambard de Bellamy are not outlawed, but do their evil deeds, and no man checks them. The knight made no answer, but sat looking into the embers of their fire, as if deep in thought, and he stood up. I will go and sleep by my horse, he said, but you have given me much on which to think, Robin Hood. Some day, perhaps, you may know my name, but before that I will help you in this business of the castle over the hill there, for that is a foul tyrant who hath no place either within the law or out of it. He went off, leaving Robin sitting by the dying fire, and wondering how Marian fared in her imprisonment in Evilhold, and longing for Friar Tuck to come with his men so that they could attack. And thinking of her whom he loved and married in the greenwood, he forgot to think who this black-armored knight, beyond question a Norman noble, could be, or why he should choose to give his aid to the outlaws of Sherwood. Thank you for joining us for Storytime with Cozy Malka. We'd love for you to share with our friends what you've learned from tonight's tale. Join us next time for the continuing adventures of Robin Hood.